Hi, welcome back to our Time to Wine.
Hello.
You're still not Bailey. Why am I with her again? Taylor, why am I with you again?
Because you're back in Atlanta.
I'm back in Atlanta! We're so crazy. So before we start this video officially, I gotta introduce you to somebody. Everybody meet Toshi. She's so cute. Once you get past like the snarling and the snapping of her not knowing you, she is like the sweetest thing. Pretty girl. She's like,
and then she won't leave you alone.
She's like, Human, can I go to sleep now? I was in your lap. She is gonna go back in my lap and like quietly say bye, Toshi. Bye. I'm thinking, not you. Anyways, okay. So, why am I back in Atlanta? Why is Bailey not with us? Okay, so Bailey is busy working, as I stated in the previous video. It's okay. Life gets busy. I have time to catch up with her. I just don't always have time to film a video. And typically by the time I catch up with her, the video is already shot. So, when life gives you lemon, you don't make lemonade. You join Taylor, you throw lemons. It makes sense, right?
I can see myself throwing lemons at people.
Ooh, Kim?
No, I don't want to go buy lemons.
I'm throwing lemon juice and like start squirting
Oh
it.
my gosh.
I'm just kidding. But why the lemon topic? We're citrus.
Yep.
We look like citrus, I kid you not. I'm a lemon. She's an orange, obviously. Yay. Okay, so this video is going to be a little different. Instead of like whining directly about something, I think we're going to whine about some 21 questions.
Yes.
Oh, she's excited. Before we whine,
we are actually drinking White Zinfandel.
that's our wine today.
Delicious.
Taylor picked it. It's actually not bad. I'll give her credit.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm almost gonna get asked, but Taylor's already got a list of questions. I got a list of questions. We don't know what's about to come at us. Let's do this.
Let's see. Oh,
Toshi won't wine.
if you could change the way school works, what would you do?
Okay, which level of school are we talking about? Like before college, during college,
I would say now.
college.
Like college.
Okay, so you spend all this time and money to go to college to get a bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, a bachelor's degree in today's society is
A high school diploma back then?
GED, yeah.
Well, yeah, GED.
In order to be successful in making the money you want to make and the position you want to be in your career, 9 times out of 10 you have to have a master's, if not a doctorate.
Yeah.
I would say I would bring it back to the bachelor's degree meaning more, because students put in a lot of work just to get a bachelor's. Like a 4-year degree, and this is another thing I'd probably change. A 4-year degree is no longer a 4-year degree. 4-year degree is easily 5, 6, 7-year degree for 4 years.
Right.
So that's probably what I would change. Like, I don't want to go to school at home, and I don't think I would have as many core classes.
Really?
Like, I mean, you're coming out of high school. You already took that.
Yeah.
You already took the core classes. I mean, I'm not saying not all of them are necessary, but I mean, like, if they don't have anything to do with their particular major, if you already declared a major, I would say zap you to the classes you specifically need,
Right.
and then just get you in your major.
Right. Okay. I honestly think they just do that as a filler because they don't have enough of the core classes, especially per school, for you to go and actually take the classes. So that's why they use like multiple of the same subject.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so here's your question. What is one thing that is not true about you, but people assume to be true to you?
That I mean, a lot of people, because half the time, if they don't know me, I don't really speak. I tend to keep a very straight face. I'll only smile every once in a while, depending on the situation. But, so people always automatically assume that I am mean and that I have, like, RBF, which I do.
You can.
Yeah, I can, especially if I'm not feeling well. But, just walk up to me.
And you're very vague, like,
hi.
if you're talking, like,
yeah.
in a conversation, it's not like okay, yes, she has her moments where she'll send lengthy paragraphs and, like, she'll have a full, in-depth conversation right then and there with you.
Right.
But most of the time, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah. That was one thing I had to learn about you.
Yeah, because growing up, even after, like, having so many different friends growing up and having like really long conversations where I was speaking most of the time, I would only get half the time like one word answers or even one letter answers. So I kind of just cut back on how much I had to say and allowed my actions to say things for me. Or if you, especially if you know me, you'll know like my reactions and everything. Or if it's something that I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll have enough time later to message them back, I'll say like a one-word answer, and then I'll forget to message you back later to explain everything.
There's several times I have to like literally, it'll text and we'll just get busy, and then the conversation goes untouched for hours on end, and even sometimes days on end, and then I'll be like, hey Taylor, did you get that? Or she'll be like, hey Chelsea, did you get that?
Right.
Like, it's just a communication thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I will say I was not intimidated by you when I first met you. I was skeptical. Like, does this girl, is she gonna be nice?
Yeah.
Kind of thing, but I was not intimidated.
Well, that's because I keep to myself. I still do that today.
I don't remember how we actually started becoming friends. I remember the class we were in.
I think we were
in
actually
class.
hanging out outside of class talking about a test, and that's when we actually started talking more and more.
The one thing about this professor that I remember is he would ramble. I mean, the whole class,
Yes.
he would ramble. And he would commonly say, oh, this wasn't the class I taught that to. It's still on the test, though.
Right, yeah. Even if he didn't teach it, you still had to know it.
And it may or may not have been in the book because he didn't go off the book very often.
No.
He loves stories. Good times. Alright, what's your next question?
If you could be an animal for one day, what would you be?
I guess a dog. Or maybe a horse. I like to run wild. That'd be cool. What would you be?
I think, a lot of my characteristics actually match with cats, where I'm always sleeping, and I'm always just lounging around.
Leave it to her. Don't want the
And if I get along with you and I like you, of course I'll linger or whatever. I might disappear and then I'll come back, but like, I'm really like a cat.
What is your favorite TV show?
Ooh.
I got her on this one.
It really. Oh, and that's the thing because I'm going through a Korean drama recently. My mom and I actually just binge watched a show on Netflix called Black Summer.
Okay.
And it's a zombie apocalypse show, and it's actually really
You like The Walking Dead too, didn't you?
I used to, yeah.
She's one for the zombie apocalypse, the Korean culture movie. I'm telling you, we're total opposites. But it worked! And see, with me, I like more shows like Grey's Anatomy and New Amsterdam. And falling asleep, I like Family Guy. I'm not gonna lie. It's funny.
Yeah. It's funny, but you can, still fall asleep.
What's your next question?
If you needed to spend the rest of your life in one place, where would it be?
Ooh, I don't like this question. I love to travel. Obviously,
Yes.
I'm in Atlanta.
Yes.
Again. And so I'm not allowed to move around.
No. Maybe, actually, because it says spending the rest of your life in one place, but it doesn't say you can't travel. So it really, where do you want to settle?
As of right now, and this could change, subject to change, but as of right now, my heart's kind of set on Florida.
Florida?
I love the beach. As stated in previous videos with me and Bailey, we were having a mountain and beach discussion. I love the beach. I like the water. I like to have fun in life.
Right.
But then again, I don't know. I would travel constantly. I would travel if I could.
I like that. I like that answer, especially since I understand the whole liking the beach thing because I love the beach as well. I don't really go in the mountains as much, especially.
I like the mountains. I like getting snow and everything. It's just
too cold is not for me, but also too hot is not for me. So it really depends on the time of year.
I like Florida. It stays about 75 to 95.
Yes.
Sometimes in the hundreds, but there's water.
There's water.
Do you prefer the ocean or the pool? Since we're talking about Florida. That's not a question, I'm just curious.
I know. There's a lot of pros and cons for that because with, the pool, it could be either saltwater, natural, or chlorine. Whereas the beach, the ocean, it's saltwater. And there's animals floating in it that just randomly like to touch your legs and your feet, and it freaks you out sometimes, but it's nature. Whereas most pools, almost all pools, are man-made.
Alright, well here's a solid question. I'm sure both of us will answer this one.
Okay.
If you could go back in time and restart your life with the knowledge you have today,
Okay.
what would you do different?
Maybe, well, I know one thing I would probably do different is not be in my shell as much. Because realizing, like, the more I come out of my shell, the more friends that I make and the more experiences I have. So with that, I might have probably had more experience growing up than I did. Because my parents, you know, gave me those options to do sports and do activities. But I was always like, no, I don't think I'll be comfortable doing it, so I would stay at home. So if I had the knowledge that I had now, I probably would have been out of my shell a lot more growing up. Especially since I know, you know, you have the opportunities that you have only because you actually go out and take them.
Okay. That's a solid answer. I'll take that. I guess for me, I would go into college probably.
Mm-hmm.
Having a better understanding of what I like
Okay.
instead of changing my major so many times, because I'd be done with school by now if I didn't do that. And also looking back on it all, I kept some people in my life that I ultimately didn't need, but I thought I did.
Gotcha.
And instead of listening to people who care about me, it was like, Chelsea, you might want to rethink that. I was stubborn, of course. And I kept people around that did me more harm than good. And if I had it do over, I would choose my friends better. I would choose, well, not now, I have a great group now, but I mean, like, going through, like
Growing up.
yeah, I would, like, be more selective of who I have in my life, so to speak. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I love my friends now.
Right.
I've matured. I've got a better friend group. But, like, the trivial ones that only cared about themselves, the ones
Right.
that were just constantly out dragging me down, and I didn't even realize it. Like, I spent most of my freshman year and my sophomore year out. My focus wasn't where it should be. So I think I would go back in time and put more focus and attention on different aspects that I tend to neglect in the past.
Gotcha.
But then again, I'm not gonna live in the past. Everything happens for a reason. Life
Right.
happens.
Exactly.
Question.
Experience is what makes you who you are today.
Your question.